I'm Laura GB, and this is day 4 in my 12 days of paginated reports. In this video, we're going to add a parameter to a report so that it can be personalised. So here we are in a preview of a report similar to the one we made in day 2 video. There's a link to the day 2 video in the notes below. We're going to add a parameter to filter by the type so that the livestock manager only gets the livestock items, etc. Let's come out of our preview version and go back into design. And we need to add a filter based on type. So we add that to the dataset. So expand datasets, right click on deliveries and go to dataset properties. And then I'm going to click on query designer. And here in this dialog, in the bottom right hand corner, that section is filters. And there's a button here to add a new filter. And by default, it goes to the first field, gift. So we're going to change that by clicking on it, and I can click on type. Make sure the operator is set to is. And for the value, I'm going to tick the parameter box. And then I'm going to click OK. And this has modified the SQL statement for our query with a where clause, which is how you filter in SQL. So we can see down the bottom there, it says that the type equals @type. The @type is our parameter name. So then I click OK. And if I expand parameters up in the report data pane, you can see there we are, there is type. Now, if I run the report, you can see up here in the top left, it asks me to type in a type. So if I put in item, and then on the right hand side here, click view report. There we are, we get a copy of the report with just the items, i.e. the pear tree and the gold rings. That type label I want to improve, firstly. So let's go back into design mode. And then we're going to right click on type and on the click parameter properties. And there we are, there's a name and there's a prompt. So we're going to change that prompt to say gift type. And then we click OK. Now when I run the report, it gets a different label of gift type. And I can type in a value, view my report. And there we are, we've got our report back showing livestock. Asking someone to type in the type, though, is fiddly and they're going to misspell it at some point. I certainly am. I want that to now be a drop down. So if we go back into design, if I right click on my parameter and go to parameter properties, you can see available values is there, and I can either type them in, which is one option, but should an extra gift type come along, I'm going to have to remember to edit all my reports. So I'd prefer to get my values from a query. So I'm going to set up a data set to fill in that. So let's press cancel and right click on datasets and add a data set. And the name of this is gift types. Data source is the same, Christmas gifts. And let's go to query designer. Now on my table of gifts, there is a type column. We just need that column to come in. And if I run that query, you'll see we get the types, but we get duplicates. So there is livestock multiple times, etc. There are a number of ways to fix this, but I'm going to go back to my knowledge of SQL, and we're going to click Edit as Text at the top here. And there is the SQL. Select gifts.type from gifts. Nice and simple. I am going to, after the select, put in a space and type in distinct. Now in here, to run this query to prove it works, we click on the red exclamation mark. And there we are, we've got our type column and we've only got one of each. So item, livestock and people. So then let's click OK. And click OK again. So now I can come back up to my right click on my parameter and I can go to parameter properties, available values. I can click on get values from a query, pick my gift types. My value field is going to be type. Now you can have a value field and a label field be two different things, but that's fine. In this case, it's going to be exactly the same. And then I'm going to click OK. And now let's run our report. And there we are. We've now got a drop down. So there we are. We can click into there. I can pick people and view the report. And there we are. We get our people report. If we publish this report to the Power BI service, so there is our deliveries report, and if I click on it to open it, there in the top left is my parameter gift type, and it's got a required in there so you can see that you need it. And then we can put in our value, click the view report button, and there we are, we get a copy of our report filtered to livestock. So in this video we looked at adding a parameter to our report and then using a dataset to make that parameter into a drop down. In tomorrow's video we're going to look at adding an all onto that drop down so that we can go back to seeing all the types in our deliveries. If you haven't already, please press subscribe. Take care now.